Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Bland.
Hardcore music. I thought I might like RuPaul or something. Wow, it's so great to be here. Hey! I love it. I love it. Good old Southern boy like me. Although I feel a little objectified. All this talk about black cock. And now I'm talking about black women. It's like, what's up with that? Although I have said to myself with all these kids on reality shows and stuff like that, like the balloon boy. See, he had a black mama. She said, that's fine. His ass got to land and he had to come home anyway. Beat his ass when he gets home. But it's like Baby Jessica, people remember her that she was like one of the first reality children. Like, okay, bitch, you filled the hole, you get out best when you can. But I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited. I'm actually from Virginia. So I'm headed back there every Thanksgiving, which is really exciting. And I'm from a really small town in Virginia, which, you know, people from small towns try to pretend like we're from big towns. So I tell people I'm from D.C. But that stands for Dinwiddie County. But a little small town. And thinking about Virginia, I don't know if people remember, like I'm also like a big TV fan and a big movie fan. So Virginia is synonymous with Thanksgiving because there was actually a movie, this is back in the 70s, I don't know who remembers, like there was a movie called The Homecoming, and it was like these people lived on Walton's Mountain, and the movie was all about how the kid tried to get home for Thanksgiving, and so he made it home, so then they made it a TV series. So then it was called Walton's Mountain, and they had these 7 kids, which, you know, the Octomom is like nothing to them. So they had the mother and father were Lydia and John, and they had 4 sons, John, Boy, Jim, Bob, Jason, and Ben, and the 3 daughters, Mary Ellen, Elizabeth, and Aaron. And Grandma and Grandpa lived there because they were John's parents, and so that's why John Boy was John. And so, you know, it was a small town, and they had, you know, every one of those shows back in those days had like a general store, and this was Gotti's general store, and Ike Gotti worked there, and he was married to Corbett, who was actually Olivia's cousin. And but she was really mean, and so that kind of reminds me, like, why are there so many mean people in these different stores? Because that also then made me think about Nellie Olson, who was on there. And you know, she was kind of moody, and that was a show that had the 2 Melissas. They had Melissa Sue Anderson and Melissa Gilbert, who you get sort of confused. But one of the Melissa Sue Anderson was the one who went blind. I didn't read the books when I was a kid, so I didn't know she went blind, so I was horrified. And then Melissa Gilbert then makes me think about Sarah Gilbert, who's her sister, who was then on Roseanne, who I always called her lesbian, but you know, she was married on the show. And then it also makes me think about how in those TV shows when they try to switch people up, because in Roseanne was when they had the 2 Beckys. So first they had this first girl named Becky, and then she left and went to school or whatever, so they had like a new Becky, and then that first Becky, I guess, those loans started coming in. It's like, well, she did my job now. So then she came back and they had that same Becky again. Which then, that then makes me think about, like in the other shows where they try to switch, like Bewitched. Like when they had 2 and you would think Samantha was a witch and she never said anything. You know, she just kind of like rolled over one night and like twitched her nose and there's like a whole new dare in there. But I digress. TV land has nothing on me. So, but then speaking about Virginia, it reminds me of growing up. And so my father, bless him, he's not dead or anything, but is always trying to make a buck. He reminds me a little bit of like Ralph Cramden. He always has this kind of scheme. He's going to make some extra money. So one Thanksgiving, he decided he was going to become a turkey farmer. So he actually bought live turkeys. So you can imagine all these turkeys around my mother's like, these birds are like shitting all over the house. You know, and then he's like telling people $10 for a turkey, but little did they know when they got there, like they'd like catch it and you know, all kinds of stuff. So that was one of his schemes. And we also didn't really have a place to put turkeys because you don't really have a turkey farm, so we had to put them in the dog pen, which luckily we had no dog. Which kind of, I feel like a country western kind of song, the dog's dead, and you got turkey farm. Another thing that my father, so that was one of his schemes, and so that went okay. Then another time when we moved in, this is again a Virginia thing, I guess, they gave us like a gift warming pig. And we had nowhere to put the pig, mind you, because we had just moved in. So they like let the pig like run around underneath the house.
What?
And somehow that pig got away. And so then people like teased my father because they're like the pig who got away. And then that reminds me of Green Acres. Arnold Zilpel was the pig there, and with the woman there who was there who did the flapjacks. Oliva. That's my father. And my mother, on the other hand, so she's also retired. She's a retired school teacher, and so now she's decided to become like this crime investigator. So the latest thing the latest case that she had was the case of the toilet tissue.
Oh
so what happened was she went to the store, and they used to have like Charmin like 6 rolls. Well, then she went to the store, they had 4 rolls, and they said it was double the size. But she said it was double the size. How come there are just 3 rolls instead of 6 rolls? But no, they like double the size, plus they gave you an extra roll, so they had to charge you more. And she was like, oh hell no. So my mama went home, and she had one of the old rolls and one of the new rolls. She sat there, she decided to count this shit. So she sits there, she unrolls the paper, like there's toilet paper all over the house, and my father's like, what's going on? And he's like, I need to sneeze. She's like, no, don't use that paper, don't use that paper, use other paper. So she went and she actually counted, so she realized that the old roll had 200 sheets and the new roll had 300 sheets. And so because she's a school teacher, she said, like, that's not twice as much. So she called her Charmin, and she let them know, like, oh hell no, this is not twice as much. So now we have toilet paper for life.
Give it up for Chris Blvd.